Hey guys, it's Eric and Karina.
They are.
And Captain Jack Black.
And welcome back to the late podcast.
No, it's just Captain Jack Sparrow. That's a sparrow. Sorry.
Jack Black, I guess.
Sparrow.
Jack Black.
I know. All right. But Captain Sparrow.
Yeah.
No problem. And welcome back to the late podcast. The law according to Eric.
We're already like confused and disoriented. So in the beginning.
No, because it's supposed to be our theme today is crazy cruise stories or, like the not so love boat. So, Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. He was a captain of a ship. That's why. So. And I bet you some of the stories probably include like octopuses and, weird sea animals. I don't know. Okay.
What was that stupid commercial we saw him in yesterday? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. Johnny Depp. He did like some men's cologne, Dior or something.
Yeah.
He's
commercial.
always been Dior's.
Yeah, but this one was like such an extra commercial. I mean, I don't know because honestly, we only really watch our streaming like Peacock or whatever. I don't know what it was, but it was like he was all like rocked out and it was like playing like these guitar riffs. Now he does play guitar and he's been playing in bands for years, but you could tell just by the movements that it just looked so awkward.
They've always been like that. His Dior's commercials have always looked very extra.
Yeah, and then because he's a resident of France,
Mm-hmm.
so when he like gives the name of the cologne, he does it like the full French accent mode. Like, give me a break,
I think they have to though. I think every like perfume ad I've seen or like cologne ad, they have to say it like the correct way. Like I've realized that on the Chanel ones that they say it a certain way. So I don't think it's he wants to or it's because he's president in France or whatever. I think it's just they force them to say it correctly. So
Forced into French.
right, exactly. All right. So let's start.
Okay.
Story number 1. The title is, "Am I the asshole for sleeping with my mother instead of my husband on a cruise?"
What?
I assume they just mean like sharing rooms or cabins, but okay.
My husband, his parents, his brothers, and his brother's fiance, and my mother and I all went on a cruise together recently. That sounds like hell, but sure. My husband, right? My husband's parents really wanted the cruise to happen, so we got a 2-bedroom suite. My husband's parents paid for 90% of the room and for everyone to have a non-alcoholic drink packages because they wanted to, I guess.
Actually, nice.
Yeah. She was like, I'm not saying no. That was for next. My mother had just lost her husband, my father, and while she was finally free, she could use a fun trip. So as a Christmas gift to her and to not make a burden.
While she was finally free.
Yeah. I don't think she likes her father.
Well, I was saying,
she would have said, my dad died. And she didn't.
No, just also like when you say that, like it could be she's finally free, like she has the time, but I don't think that's what she meant.
No, I don't need.
Okay, all right, yeah, we're I know we're dropping the episode late, and we're trying to do our best to get it done, but I'm getting a flood of calls this morning. But so my first thought was, oh, she's finally free, like she's got free time because she was so busy. But then the tone of it, it's like, well, maybe he was like an abusive motherfucker.
I interpreted it.
Yeah. So okay. So all right. So
sure.
all right.
The way she said she lost her husband and then said my father in parentheses. I don't think that she liked that man. So she said, well, so as a Christmas gift to her and to not make her a burden to my husband's parents, we paid what would be her portion of the room, about like $1K. Not bad at all. My husband's parents took one room, and room 2 was going to be for the couples to trade off. But my mother is old, turns in fairly easily, and has back issues, so we gave her the second room. This put all 4 young ones in the living room. There were enough beds, but zero privacy. I had the worst time trying to sleep, and the lack of it combined with how much energy a cruise demanded was getting to me. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law were always snoring and making noise. The boat noises were intense, and the Pullman bed was too thin. My mother offered for me to share a room with her, and it was an easy choice. I loved my husband, but it's not like we were able to have sex or even cuddle, and I can't exactly enjoy a cruise when I'm ready to pass out. I was able to be fun and happy for the remaining 5 days of the trip, and I thought we all had a great time. I'm now hearing that it's a big problem that I didn't share a room with my husband and the 2 other people, mind you, and that only a child would choose to share a bed with their mother over a spouse. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I'll accept the criticism. Am I the asshole for this?
Okay. Well, cruise rooms are about as large and comfortable as dorm rooms are. Yeah. So I am thinking like you get comfort wherever you can. So I can't blame her for wanting to bunk with her mom.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she probably doesn't get to spend a lot of time with her mom, and was probably really nice for them to be able to spend the time together.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I can't understand where it would be weird if your spouse isn't sleeping in the room with you, but it sounds like under the circumstances, it was the only way to get some rest.
Yeah. I don't think she's the asshole for that. I think, like you said, she probably doesn't get to spend enough time with her mom anyways. And her mom offered to hey, you could come and sleep in the room, and she did. I don't see a problem with it. I think her husband's just mad he had to end up sleeping on the Pullman bed. But at the end of the day, she gave him more space on the bed, and she was able to stay with her mom. So I don't think she's the asshole.
I don't think she is either.
Yeah.
And I think that Billy pull-out bed guy, whatever, her husband,
mm-hmm.
I think he was probably more embarrassed. I think his parents or brothers said something to him.
Maybe, yeah.
And
mm-hmm.
that's why he's kind of being a bit douchey towards her.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming, I should say, even if the relationship between his wife and her father was terrible and he was a terrible human being,
mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it's still her father. He died.
Yeah.
Her mother's a widow.
Mm-hmm.
She's in a room by herself. I would have offered to stay anyway, even if my other room were kind of comfortable, you know. And this is a mother and a daughter.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't really see any real issue here. I think maybe the other issue or reason that Billy's getting such a hard time is because his family paid for most of it, and they, maybe they feel like they're not being appreciated. Like, look, we did all this, and we got everybody this big room and these packages, and you just sort of left. And I could see where an older person might feel a little offended at something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you're too good for, our big barn.
No, they stayed in the same place.
No, but then she left. She went to her mother's room.
But the mother's room was in the same
I understand
place.
what I'm saying. I know it's one big suite, right? But I'm saying that room was secluded.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. She's like, oh, you're too good to stay here with everybody. You got to go, private. That's all I can think of. Otherwise, I don't really see a big issue here. Clearly, there's nothing weird or inappropriate. The idea that she's just too old to, share a bed with her mother is stupid. This is not, where she's 9, right? And she's like, I just can't, I saw, no, these are two adults making the best out of
mm-hmm.
what's probably a cramped situation.
Yeah.
And as the child of somebody who has means, but is super chintzy these days, I could easily see my own father, getting one big room for 40 fucking people, and just figure it out, guys. And then get upset if you don't stay. I could easily see that.
Yeah.
So now it's interesting that the first story is about in-laws and cruise ships,
right,
and room sharing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to see if my brother's available. We should go on to the next story, but this is just too good.
Okay, next one then.
Go ahead.
Am I the asshole for going on a cruise and missing my sister's wedding? Male 34. Booked a cruise for my 6th anniversary with my wife, going with some close friends of ours. We do pretty good for ourselves, and we booked one of the best suites on the ship with several packages, drinks, food, etc. 14 days leaving from NYC down to the Caribbean and back. Now here's a dilemma. The cruise is in April, and my sister set her wedding for when we were supposed to be away. We booked over a year and a half ago, and my sister knew full well that we were going to be away and still insisted on having her wedding that day. Furthermore, she only found out a date and told everyone less than 2 months before when it's set to happen. We are spending more than 30 grand on this vacation and have spent countless hours on the phone with the cruise line, and there's not looking like a ton of options are available for us. We have already paid the full amount for our sailing, have booked excursions, and so on. The cruise offered us partial refunds and credit towards a future cruise, but this is the last sailing for its itinerary, and honestly, I would call it me and my wife's dream itinerary. It has so much good places we have never been to, always wanted to go, and that I could go on. Not to mention, we have an extremely busy schedule. Likely we will have to end up waiting months, probably more like years, for another opportunity to go on a cruise line with the desirable itinerary, as it is a premium line, and sailings that we are interested in are few and far in between. There's no option to change the wedding date. And honestly, I'm just ready to not go. My sister is pissed at me despite her knowing when I was going to be away. She's putting a lot of money into her wedding and is having a ceremony with hundreds of people. I don't know what to do. I think I'm just going to miss it. Am I the asshole? Should I skip it?
I wonder why the sister would make the wedding the same time that she already knew they were going on a cruise. See, if the sister didn't know already, then I would say, yeah, you need to cancel it.
Yeah.
But the sister did know.
Yeah.
So why would she make it the same time?
Sounds like she wanted to mix up about her. But it sounds like. Sounds like a bitch, honestly.
She does sound kind of like a bitch.
I
mean, if I had that much money invested and she made a conscious decision to make it at the same time.
30 grand that they spent on a cruise and for everything.
Fortune. Oh my God.
I think that there is a big difference between knowing something and being consciously aware of something. Mm-hmm. And let me give you a real life example, because I bet you this is more what's happening. Because I think if the sisters were at odds, she would
it's
have
a brother and a
brother, sister, whatever. I think if the siblings had issues or didn't like each other, that would have been written, mm-hmm. right? So, for example, my brother told me 2 months ago that he and his wife were going on a trip. I don't remember where. Mm-hmm. So I was made aware of it. Right. I know the dimes. Ask me today where they're going or when. I have no fucking idea. Right. So if I were planning a life event for myself or my fiance, honestly, I wouldn't have thought of that. You know, it's not at the forefront of my mind, right? And if they're dealing with hundreds of guests, and this is going to be a fairly big wedding, they probably weren't dialed down to every bit of detail on each of these people.
See, I bet money she knew.
I only agree with that too, because she set the date 2 months before the wedding. If this was such an extravagant wedding that you've planned down to the point where you're not paying attention to everything else that's going around you, you were not going to pick a date 2 months before the wedding.
Yeah, that's
yeah. You usually pick a wedding date like a year in advance.
Yeah.
So some people even do it like 5 years in advance. So.
I'm just saying, or maybe the wedding venue, the one that she wanted, her dream venue, only became available, or she had to snatch it up. But here's the bigger point, okay? And this is where Eric gets more practical, mm-hmm. right? So again, my relationship with my brother is very strong. Mm-hmm. And if I were in the situation where I had to pick between attending his wedding or going on a cruise, even an expensive cruise, I would forego the trip, go to my brother's wedding, and I would rebook it, even if it took me 3 years from now, 4 years from now. I wouldn't give up on that dream trip. I wouldn't never do it. And I'd understand that I have to do it later. And I'd give myself some kind of consolation prize. Like I do a 4-day, something, or some little excursion or something to just make me feel like I didn't completely lose out. Mm-hmm. Right. But weddings are supposed to be once in a lifetime milestone events, maybe twice in a lifetime, maybe 3 times. But generally speaking, these mm-hmm. are big deals. And again, with the amount of people going, I'm just saying what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't know, again, their relationship, if it's solid enough, or if the cruise, Lucinda is just like, fuck my brother Billy, I don't care. Or the other way around, cruise Billy. Well, I don't know which one's going. But
Billy's cruise.
Okay, so cruising Billy, like, fuck my sister, I don't care. She knew, right? I just don't know how much actual conscious thought was put into, because what's being alluded to mm-hmm. is wedding, bride Lucinda mm-hmm. was basically like, yo, fuck my brother. I want to get married on this day. I don't give a shit if he's going on a cruise.
I mean, that's honestly what I really think happened.
That is.
But I'm saying, I don't know. It's hard, unless I know that these siblings are at odds or have that kind of weird, tumultuous relationship. I really just think like that wasn't at the forefront of her mind, But again, we don't have enough detail. But I don't know that there's much more, to this. But I'll say you this. Nothing's actually happened yet. Mm-hmm. If Cruise Billy skips his sister's wedding, mm-hmm. then I'm going to give him 3 dingleberries.
Why?
Because even though he believes it was intentional, we don't know for sure. It's still his sister, still her wedding. She's planning it a lot, and this cruise, while it may not be available right away, he'll eventually be able to take it with his wife or wherever he was going with, and he can always, he can always do it again or redo it.
I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. She knew he's had this plan for a year and a half. He can't get most of his money back. She made a conscious decision mm-hmm. to make the trip to make her the wedding when they were going on their trip.
On their anniversary trip, too.
On their anniversary trip. Exactly. I think this is another like bridezilla trying to get all the attention.
Yes. I love my brother, and I would never want to miss my brother's wedding. But if he did something like this when he knew, like, I had a trip going on, I had all of that going on, I'm going to let him be mad at me. You can be mad at me all you want to. I'm not going to go, because you knew this and you made a conscious decision knowing that this is my anniversary trip with my spouse. And I can't imagine that he has this booked for over a year and a half, and he has all of these excursions already paid for that he hasn't talked about it out loud. So, like, even if he mentions it, I'm sure he's talking about it because he sounds excited about this cruise. So I'm sure he's been talking about it to her or like the other family members. So I feel like this was deliberate for her to do this. I think it was, like you said, another bridezilla that wants everything to be on her and she wants more attention towards her. So no, he wouldn't be the asshole at all. I wouldn't give him any dingleberries if he went. I think he should miss it. And she sounds bratty, so.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I just think she sounds that way because that's how she wrote, or that's how he wrote it. Or that's how whoever posted.
Let me tell you, if when you're planning a wedding, if it were important to her that he be there, she would have put more thought into it. It clearly wasn't.
All right. I get this is going to be our first agree to disagree. I just don't think it was as vicious as you guys think it was. I just think it was mindless.
I think they've spent a lot of time planning this, and I think she was very well aware that they were going.
I guess it really matters how aware she was. If this was something that was said, because we don't know, I don't know if they live nearby each other. I don't know if they see each other often. I don't know if they do family, Sunday dinners. We don't know. If this was something that, Brother Billy mentioned in passing, me and, wife Lucinda, we're going on this cruise next year. We can't wait. And, that was it.
If you're the kind of person that plans something a year and a half in advance, you're pretty diligent about being on top of things. And if your sister's planning a wedding, then you're definitely going to make sure that she knows that. Yeah. And I'm sure they've been talking about this.
I'm saying we just don't know. That's all. And so before I condemn everybody here, I just think that we need more facts. But either way, again, so I'm going to stick to that. If he chooses to skip his sister's wedding, he's going to get 3 dingleberries from me. If he chooses to attend, then he gets 0. But I will give Bridezilla 2 if she, if she did this. No, I would say 3 if she did it intentionally. But the problem I'm having, to be honest with that analysis, is she would also essentially screw all her other guests, right? If she did a change now or it just feels like she found her perfect place. Right. And that may be why she doesn't want to change it. Or at this point, right, she already, the deposit's done. She can't get out of it. It can't be, redone. I don't know. There's just not enough detail to know for certain. So we have to sort of grade and score hypothetically.
Okay. I'm giving him 0 if he goes on the cruise. I think he should. Because then he's also taking the trip away from his wife for an anniversary trip. If he does go to the wedding, I'm going to give him 3.5, because again, 1, you're enabling the brat. Secondly, your wife is missing on her fucking anniversary cruise that you guys spent 30 grand on, then you're not going to get back. And then the sister, honestly, for me, I'm going to give her 4, just because regardless, it just sounds really bratty to me. Like, even if she maybe only knew, like, oh yeah, they're going to go on a cruise all that time. If she really wanted her there, she would have asked. Like, I've seen many weddings where people will ask about it, and I don't think she was like, if she asked me, was like, hey, I'm going on the cruise, and she was just like, oh, fuck that, then that's on her. She obviously didn't want him there that bad. So
yeah, that's wedding protocol. Yeah. You make sure that the people who are most important to you can be there. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. Fuck her. Yeah.
All right. Next one.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for still going on a cruise when my ex and I broke up? I, 28 male, split with my ex, 27 female, about a month ago. It was a tough breakup for both of us, but it happened nonetheless. We had a cruise planned in a couple of months in which her family would be on, and we were going to go with them. It wasn't a package booking, so the room I got isn't close to the rooms her family would be in, and her family has saved up some money for all of them to go. It is my first cruise, and I was extremely excited. I have already paid for over $4,000 for the cruise for all of me and my ex's things, food, alcohol, excursions, and took my time off of work. But she is now demanding that I give her the tickets and not go because she doesn't want to see me on the cruise. I expressed to her that I can go and mind my business and she can go and be with her family and mind their business and us not interact at all. But apparently cruises don't work like that, her words. And we would run into each other and it would ruin the trip for her. If I go, she's refusing to go, and now her family is mad at me because she's telling them that she won't go if I go. She told me she started dating someone else 2 weeks before we split and has been dating him since. I told her I'm not going to give up the tickets that I paid for, and that she doesn't have the right to dictate me going on the cruise with over 5,000 people on it, especially while she has a new partner. Am I the asshole for not giving up my ticket when if I don't, she won't go on her family cruise?
I think you have as much right to go as she does. Mm-hmm.
Especially if he paid for himself, for himself.
$4,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, cruise ship, yeah, it's true. Yeah, you could run into each other, but I mean, it's not like you're living next door to each other. So
Look, if this cruise line is anything like the one that HR and I went on a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, yes, it's possible they're going to run into them, but there are specific spots on a cruise ship that are smaller, and you have a more likely chance. So, like for example, most of the cruise ships that go international have like their casino, not big giant Vegas style. They're just small rooms with So if they like slot machines or gambling, they could easily run into each other there. Right. Certain dining halls, right? Some are smaller, more intimate. Some are really giant. If the Billy sticks to the big ones, or they do, they not likely they'll see each other, especially if they don't have their meal times synced. But if they go to like a specialty place, like the cruise we were on, they had like a Benihana style, like a teppanyaki grill or whatever. Those are like these specialty restaurants. So it's possible. But again, if Billy knows that Lucinda loves Japanese food, so maybe he doesn't eat there or whatever.
And it doesn't sound like he's doing this out of spite for her. Honestly, it doesn't like sound like he's like a bitter ex. Like it really doesn't. He just sounds like he's excited on his first cruise.
He just wants to go. He spent a lot of money and he wants to go.
It's my first cruise.
I'll tell you one better. Okay, if I'm Billy and Lucinda came up to me like, "Yo, 2 weeks ago I started seeing somebody else, so we got to break up. And by the way, don't come on my fuck you, especially if I paid for it. I should somehow. I tell you what, no, you should ostracize yourself, right? You cheating bitch. I mean, what? And by the way, and I mean this sincerely. Okay, no shtick. If that happened to me, and my girlfriend was like, "Yo, Eric, sorry, but 2 weeks ago, I started, taking a dicking from someone else, and we're going to break up. And by the way, if you go on this cruise, I'm not going to go." Not only would I go, I would be the most extra about it.
Oh my God.
And fuck you. They're right. You know what? Don't go. You cheating whore, right? Fuck off. And I bet you, I hate to say this.
2 weeks after they split, sorry, not before.
It changes a little bit. Although if the rebound is that fast, then you never know. But I'll tell you the other thing too. Although now my logic is screwed because she wasn't actually cheating. But I was going to say, I bet you the reason she's saying, if you go, I'm not going to go, is because she doesn't want to risk that coming out in front of her family. But now it turns out she wasn't a cheating horse. So, that logic's out the window now.
That still is pretty fast to find someone that you actually want to go on a trip with.
I don't think she wants him to go. She just doesn't want him there because he has a boyfriend.
Yeah, it might be weird or awkward, but again, by the way, HR is right. Like to break up and then 2 weeks later have somebody else that you're ready to go on a cruise with.
Yeah,
it's possible that relationship had started before. Maybe she didn't, indulge. Yeah, but it feels like it was being like worked up towards by that point, and then maybe she finally was like, okay, I'm going to break up because I want to be with Billy 2 and not Billy 1. I don't know.
Well, he has a little update.
Oh, okay.
He ended up canceling the tickets and not going because she couldn't pay me back for her part of it. And it turns out she also didn't end up going with her family either because they had a falling out. So all is well. I can put the credit towards another cruise for myself, and she didn't get to go on the cruise at all.
Okay, well, I guess that all worked out.
Yeah. I honestly, if he would have went, I still would have thought he was the asshole. Like I would.
No, I agree.
No, absolutely not. That was,
honestly, I would have went, and I would have started talking to her family members. How are you guys? So sad she couldn't come, isn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, I would do something like that too. Yeah. I would have been worse. No, I would have been worse. Like let me tell you, you want to know what Eric would do? Okay. Eric would find where my ex's family was, and I'd make sure they were in a public area, like a dining hall or whatever. And I walk up to them, I go, "Yo, oh my God, good. I didn't, great to see you guys. I haven't seen you in a while. Sorry." And then I'd pull out of my, back pocket, whatever, like some trashy paintings, like, "Yo, could you tell Lucinda she left these behind? Could you just give these back to her?" Like I do shit like that.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would. Or be like, "Yo, could you ask her to reset her iCloud password because I don't want anybody to get those photos."
Oh my God.
I would. I say shit like that, right? I'm just saying, right? That's bullshit.
Yeah,
I paid for a trip.
I would too.
I don't care if it's $4,000 or $400. It's not the point.
Yeah,
I'd be even worse if it was cheaper.
Right.
I would. No, I'm going. I'm going to get my $80 worth or whatever.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And honestly, I would do it out of spite. I'm being honest.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like he is, but it's like I'd do it out of spite.
He's a much nicer, more understanding guy than I am.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely done that because I find that to be so. It takes a lot of nerve. That's a lot of chutzpah, right? To walk up and like, "Yo, can you just not go? Right? Can you just cancel? Because I don't want to see you." Like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. So, all right. I am going to give Break Up Billy 0 dingleberries.
Yeah.
And not just because in the end he didn't go anyway.
No, I would have given him the.
But yeah, I think he's absolutely within his right to go. And if he would have gone, I'd have no issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
Feldman, it's a little bit different because you do kind of you need a lack of shame to like intentionally go on the cruise that your ex and her family's going to be on. You know, so I would give him a 4 on the Feldman. It's not terribly shameless, but it's not, it's not like up there with his standards and morals. It's kind of, that's, Now, to ex-girlfriend Lucinda, who I guess is not a whore, or she might be, but it's not definitive.
Shocker, not all women are whores.
Well, no, it just
breaking news.
We thought she was cheating. I'm just saying, we thought she was cheating.
You thought she was cheating.
We all thought that when she's like 2 weeks before. You said.
I think I said on accident, but it was after.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So, but I'm going to give her 2.75 dingleberries for asking him to skip it. And the reason it's not more is because I understand kind of why she would want that. And the idea that even though he seems like a very nice, laid back guy, I'm sure she was going through the scenarios in her mind. Oh my God, he's going to see my new boyfriend. They're going to have a thing. It's going to embarrass my family. I mean, she was probably over worrying.
I don't think she mentioned wanting to take her new boyfriend. I think where I can like kind of side with her, it's like, if not all of the family knows what happened or why, like, that they broke up, they're going to be like, oh, he's over there. Why isn't he talking to us? What happened? Like, he's here. Why are you guys together?
Well, that's what I mean.
And then she's going to have to talk about it. So regardless if the new boyfriend goes or not, I think it would be uncomfortable for her at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not giving her more dingleberries. I do think that, she was probably trying to preserve her time and, she wanted to enjoy the trip.
Mm-hmm.
Asking him to not go, I'm gonna give her the same 4 on the Feldman scale. It's a little shameless kind of do that.
Very shameless, actually.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a Feldman violation.
Well, the reason I'm not
pretty shameless to ask him not to go.
But the reason I'm not going lower again is because I think that she may have really worked herself up with the possibilities of what could happen. That's what it feels like, and she just didn't want to risk any of it.
Mm-hmm.
So in her mind, the best way to alleviate that is just to have him not go.
Mm-hmm.
So
but she didn't have to go either.
Well, no, true,
cruise,
right?
though.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a lot easier. Right? It would have been a lot easier for him to skip it.
Yeah. Like if it was his family, I'd be like, "You don't go, bitch." But this is her family.
And I'll tell you what. This is just a little aside. Like, what would Eric do? I'll be honest that if I could get a refund, and clearly Billy has no issue of going on a cruise like on his own or by himself, I would book a singles cruise.
Yeah.
I would just take the money back and I'd go on a cruise that's meant for single people. And fuck it, because unless they're on one of those weird Carnival Mexico cruises, which is like a big giant party from what I've been told. I've never been on one of those.
I've never been on a cruise in general, but I want to go on one of those.
But I've told it's like basically it's like a 4-day, alcohol, weed, whatever it is. Just like one big giant, fiesta.
I've heard those are fun.
Yeah, they might be if you're in your 20s. When you're 50 something like me, no thanks. I mean, hey, HR and I are asleep by like 9:30. It's not, this isn't something that we would need. But but I'm saying if I were Billy in that situation, I were 26, 27.
On that Carnival cruise to Ensenada.
I wouldn't want to go with my ex and her family personally.
No.
Imagine being there with your in-laws and your ex.
I'm just saying I would only want to do that if I really dislike them and I could fuck with them.
I'd only do that if the family really liked me, and it'd be really annoying. Like if I wanted to be petty, if they really liked me and they would keep including me and stuff, just to see that, them get more.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. But anyway, all right.
All right, next one then.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my sister's cruise? Sounds familiar, huh?
Oh gosh.
Sorry, that came
No, that's okay.
Faster than I thought about it, Josh.
No, it's true. Should we almost like?
It's almost like, huh? My 19 female grandparents are celebrating 50 years of marriage this year and have invited the whole family to go with them on a cruise for a family reunion. That sounds terrible. That means, no, hear this part out. That means all 6 of their children and their extended family, roughly 125 people from our family, are going on a week-long vacation. Okay, from your family. I would kill myself. I would launch myself off the fuck. If I had 125 of my family members with me for a week, I would kill myself. I wouldn't make it out of there. Oh my God, no. She said, I adore my grandparents, but I have a complicated relationship with my parents. In short, they're incredibly emotionally immature and care entirely too much about how they appear to others, and not enough about how we as a family are functioning. Because of this, one of my older sisters, we'll call her Brittany, 20 female, has fallen into addiction. Though I've tried my best to help her without the support of my parents, there's very little that I could actually do. They told me it was my responsibility to take care of her. So when she lost everything after her DUI my senior year in high school, I completely rearranged my life to cater to her. I stayed home my first year of college and took her to and from all of her appointments, took her to work, school, etc. I sacrificed my life so it would look like our family was functioning, even though we weren't. Unfortunately, with addiction, there's always a chance of relapse, and my sister relapsed hard. She OD'd and I found her, and I had to rush to the hospital. Still, my parents refused reasonable help. So I stopped doing everything and decided to go to the school of my dreams and live my own life. After a week of having to actually parent her, I got the apology call with the request to support her again. I denied them, and I have been 100% independent since, which brings us back to the cruise. Last week, my parents called to inform me that I'm expected to go on the cruise and pay for myself, which is fine. I'm an adult. However, I was not expecting to pay for Brittany. My parents said without reliable transportation, she's been unable to maintain a steady income, and it's my fault for moving away. So it's reasonable for me to pay for her and have her pay me back someday. I told them no, and I asked why they couldn't. Turns out, in addition to paying for my younger sister, they've also decided to pay for my nieces, 2 female, 3 female, 5 female, and my 2 stepsisters who are 28 and 24. I doubled down that I'm paying for my own school, and I don't want to dip into my savings when I know I won't get paid back. But now I'm getting the nonstop hate messages from the rest of the family. I don't think I'm being unreasonable, but with my grandparents calling me and begging me to go on the cruise and just to pay for my sister, I'm wavering. Am I the asshole if I still refuse?
That's infuriating and baffling. Yeah. I don't. What is wrong with these parents that they expect the sister to be the parent?
That's 19.
She's a kid.
Yeah.
I don't understand how she became the person in charge of her sister.
Of her older sister.
Her older sister. Yeah, older sister. How did this kid become in charge of her older sister? I can't even comprehend asking one of my kids to do that.
No. And then the fact that they're paying for the 2 stepsisters who are older than both of them, her and her other sister, and for 3 nieces, but can't pay for their own daughters, it's ridiculous. But again, like she said, they care about what other people think. So they might be like, oh, we'll pay for them. Don't worry, we'll pay for them. And then when it comes to their kids, they're like, oh, they're going to have to figure it out. We want to see like we have. That's the only thing I'm getting from
I
this.
hate people like that who just do nice things to save face.
Yes, but to their family, their fucking family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the worst kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think he should block his entire family.
Me too.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I hate to say it because family's a big thing for me and it's very important to me. But if my parents did that to me and essentially pawned off a sibling with addiction issues and pushed basically say, this is now somehow my problem, my responsibility. And after helping as much as he did, if that's still being pushed on him or forced upon him or whatever, or maybe he's guilted into doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, he has the right to say no and move and live his life. And I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. The idea of 125 family members doesn't freak me out as much as it does everybody else.
Really?
I'll tell you why. I've been to big family gatherings like weddings, bar mitzvahs, things. And my family in Israel is huge. My dad had 7 other brothers and sisters. They all had kids. Those kids have kids. I have hundreds of cousins, but on a cruise ship, what's likely to happen is certain family members are going to click with each other. Yeah. Not everybody's going to be where everybody else is all the time.
Yeah.
I've got certain cousins that I'm closer with than other ones. Other cousins are closer, than I am to the, so that part of it doesn't really freak me out. If they were going to insist on like, they all have to go to the dining hall every day at the same time. Shirts. Right. Like, yeah, right. Like shit like that would start to like annoy me.
Yeah.
But again, even if that were it, where we all had to get like the, Johnson Family Cruise 2025, and we, like the t-shirts or whatever, even something like that, I'd participate in because I know that I'm just still going to sit with the cousins that are, I'm friendly with or my own siblings, whatever. So the 125 family people doesn't freak me out. I definitely think the idea that he was still going to go.
Yeah.
While the stuff was happening with his sister, I'm wondering why. Like why he wants to go on this cruise and just doesn't want to pay. In other words, if he's constantly being made to feel like this is his responsibility and his problem, right? Why would he want to be in that environment?
Well, I think he,
whatever.
But I think is that it's her grandparents celebrating 50 years of marriage, and their grandparents really, really want all of them to go. And I really feel like it's more like the grandparents might not be assholes. That's what it kind of sounds like in the end, which is like, my grandparents really want me to go.
Yeah.
So to me, it kind of sounds like this is definitely her grandparents. How do I say it? I guess she feels bad for them. I think that's what it is. It's not about like the sister. It's not about the parents. She probably wouldn't even talk to them if she was there because she said, no, I moved away. I'm fully independent now. So I think it's more just, to the grandparents,
So, you want to know what Eric would do?
So the grandparents to pay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly would.
Yeah.
I would.
Mm-hmm. No, me too. Yeah.
Yo, Grandpa.
Like, you want me there that bad?
Right. I'd love to go, but I can't. Yeah. And I'm not willing to do that. Yeah. If you want to do it, no problem. But it's not going to be my problem.
No. Yeah.
And as savage as that might be, that's it. And the only reason I wouldn't do something like that is if I knew my grandparents couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If they were being treated by the rest of the family, because I could see something like that too, where it's like, yo, Grandma and Grandpa are about to celebrate 50 years. Why don't we all pitch in and do this big thing? But if everybody was paying for themselves for the most part, or all that, I would say, listen, Grandpa, I'd love to go and I'll be there, but I'm not paying for Lucinda.
Yeah, no.
You got, figure it out.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, this is really not that hard. I don't think college Lucinda or sober Lucinda is the asshole here.
She gave up her first year of college. Can you imagine?
I was gonna say, if anything, she's more saint than asshole. To be frank. So she gets 0 dingleberries. I think she's a 10 on the Feldman. I think there's no shame whatsoever in saying, yo, I'm not paying for this, for my sister that I had to give up all this for, who can't seem to stay clean.
Yeah.
And that's, by the way, that's not a ding on anybody that struggles with sobriety, because it's not easy.
Right.
It is a disease. People do relapse all the time. It is truly an illness. Yeah. It is not by choice. I mean, you may get there by choice, but once you're there, you can't control it.
Yeah.
So, I don't have any anger or any hate for anybody going through that.
Yeah. No. I don't think the sister really, it's not her fault. We can't blame her.
No, it's just that what people don't understand, people that struggle with addiction don't always understand the toll that takes on their immediate friends and family. Yeah. Often through recovery, they start to realize that. And that's one of these steps. In the 12 steps, you make amends, right, to the people you wronged or you hurt. And that's part of that process, right? Because you're supposed to try to understand at least how your behavior affects others, right? But if she's relapsed and she's using and she's not at a point where she can really comprehend that, it's not going to make a difference. So, why should college Lucinda have to pay for her, fucked up sister?
Yeah. No.
I was almost going to say, it's almost like, but it's not quite like this. It's almost like if you have a cringy sister-in-law who wants to go on a cruise with the whole family, even though she's kind of like an outlier, right? But just considers herself part of the family and then wants you to pay for her drink package and wine time.
Well, yeah, you're Uncle Eric. And,
right. Almost Grandpa like that.
Morty.
Right. Uncle Eric, right? Grandpa Mordo, Saba Mordo, right?
Exactly.
Almost like that. Almost. Exactly. This is a little more serious, but it's almost like that.
Exactly.
I gotta say, if you're struggling with sobriety, I don't know if a cruise is the best place for you to be.
That's true. Exactly. I don't even think she should go on.
That would be rough.
Yeah.
That's a good point too. Yeah. That's not going to be an easy place with drink packages and.
Should not keep going on.
Yeah, that's a rougher place. Yeah. But even besides that, even if she were in recovery and she had a certain amount of time sober or clean, it's still the issue here is the putting the financial pressure
on the
and the guilt on her sister, who already seems to me has done quite a bit to try to help.
I hate it when people have bicycle events that cost you thousands of dollars.
I know, and it's like, and her parents put that on her, which is sucks. So
these parents are serious assholes. Hey,
exactly, I agree.
Your child, you need to take responsibility.
Yeah, that's true too, right? I mean, you can't push it off on your
other child,
right, or her sibling. I'm with you. So 0 dingleberries, 10 on the Feldman for college Lucinda.
I agree.
I'm not grading drunk Lucinda. I'm sure there's much more going on. I will say that parents,
they get 5 and 5.
No, I'm giving them 10.
That's why they get 10 in total, 5 and 5.
No. I'm giving them 10. I'm giving them a double Jelly Roll Lizzo ass dingleberry, 10 of them. I agree with that. Yeah. For that kind of guilt, that kind of crassness, like the brazen, you know what? Deal with her. This is your problem. Fuck you. I'm not the one that created her, right? I didn't give birth to her.
Exactly.
Right? And I've already done my share. He may not say it quite so crudely, but
she did her share, definitely.
So mom and dad, you're getting a combined 10 dingleberries for that. And that's a 0. That's a -5 on the Feldman. That is so shameless to put your other sibling through that kind of guilt and pressure.
Yeah.
Whether it's financial, emotional. And in this case, it's both.
It's all everything. Yeah.
So terrible. Terrible.
Yep. All right. Next one.
All right.
Am I the asshole for abandoning my parents at an island in the Caribbean so I could get back to our cruise on time? Yep. I graduated from high school back in December. As a gift, my parents got me a cruise. It was also for my 18th birthday. It was also a family vacation. So just throw it all together. We usually stay at all-inclusive resorts, but I've always wanted to go on a cruise. I told my parents it was different, and if they went on excursions, we had to follow the schedule no matter what. Well, it was a week-long cruise, and they would not head back to the ship when I said it was time to go. They were too busy shopping and bargaining with the locals. I finally said I was heading back to the ship. My mom waved me off. They missed the departure by a lot, like 45 minutes. They got a hold of me through WhatsApp, and they wanted to know why I didn't get the boat to wait for them. I wanted to scream that they were not going to inconvenience 3,998 people because 2 of them could not understand what a schedule was. They ended up having to fly to the next port from there, and it was expensive. They are now pissed at me for leaving them behind. I don't know what I was supposed to do here. They literally told me that they knew that what they were doing. I wish I just never had asked for this, and they're making me miserable because I left without them. Am I the asshole for this?
Oh, wow. Well, you really stuck to your guns there. I mean, you said you were going to do something, and you did it.
Hey, that's their fucking fault.
What would the alternative be? Is that they're all be
right.
stuck.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
right?
Guess how much more expensive it would have been to fly 3 of them to the next port.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm going to do a really quick grade, and then I'm going to tell you a true story about the line to get back to the ship.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know.
For our audience, which is now, again, over 10,000. So amazing. So, really quick, 18-year-old, is it Billy or Lucinda?
I think,
well, we don't know.
It doesn't say,
whatever. 18-year-old, Bilcinda.
Okay.
I'm giving her, it, whatever, 0. Yes, people do get left behind, and they are very adamant on the cruise about when you need to be back and what will happen.
And she told them that.
And she tried to get them to come.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't find it shameful that she's like, okay, yo, do what you want. I'm going to get back because I don't want the ship to sail without us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The fact that mom and dad thought they knew it all. Right. And no, that's on them.
Exactly.
So I don't see dingleberries or Feldman issues with child Lucinda.
No.
Mom and dad, I think it's a little, I'm going to give them like 3 dingleberries for not listening and no, we'll be fine.
What about them making it hell later on?
Well, and that's more like Feldman. I think it's like a 2 on the Feldman for basically blaming your clearly more responsible child than you are, for this.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of shameless to come back you forced it. No, she told you how to not get into the situation.
You should have stopped the boat.
Right. No. Yeah. Right. I know. She should have just rung the captain's bell. Yo, Captain Ahab, whatever, do me a favor. Stop this massive 10,000 passenger cruise ship because my parents they had to get that last fucking trinket, at the fake leather goods shop or whatever.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna break out. I'm gonna tell you a true cruise story about this when you stop at a port.
Right.
But before I do, shout out to Emily. What's up, girl? Shout out to Badonkadori. Gonna be there next month. Whatever the other guy is.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
You saw that was a nice voice.
I know. I was just gonna say. By the way, HR says hi, Ron. Nicer than she says it to me.
She does, honestly.
Right. And the rest of the Midbar Maj.
Okay,
crew.
Aaron. I'm gonna say your name. Shout out to Aaron.
Aaron, Karen, Dougie, Bobby, Betty, Wilma. Jess, whatever. Jessica, Amy, and
Fran.
Fran. His names out of your ass.
I don't remember them, so I bet you I get 1 or 2 of them.
He
right.
just remembers Emily, Dory, and
Badonkadori. You say it right.
Is there really a Dougie?
I don't know. I bet you there's somebody married to a Dougie somewhere in that group. Whatever.
Because you always say Dougie.
I know. I always thought
I don't know why.
Actually a
no, it's just easy to remember. Whatever. Look, everybody that knows me knows that I have these short-term memory issues. I don't, whatever. So this is not how I recall. Anyway, so there he goes. So HR and I were on a kind of family cruise about 1.5 years ago. We were celebrating my niece Leslie's bat mitzvah, and that was kind of my brother and sister-in-law, my actual sister-in-law, my non-cringy sister-in-law's gift.
Aaron.
Yes, Aaron. Karen minus the K. That was their gift, right? So we all went, and one of the ports, I think it was Cyprus.
Mm-hmm.
The ships, they can't dock right at the port, so they dock offshore, right? I don't know, couple 100 feet away, whatever it is. And you take these little boats called dinghies, and the dinghy brings you to the excursion point or the shore, and you have X amount of time to like tour, walk around, go to restaurants, do whatever, and then you have to go back. Now, the way to get back to the dinghies to bring you back to the ship is like literally like a small, narrow alley. And it's full of shops, which I'm sure is on purpose because that's the only way. And you got to go through this long fucking line. And they tell you, give yourself at least an hour, right? They're very clear. You go through this whole line and then you get to like a weird area where then you go down these stairs. Then you have to take one of these fucked up like sky rides, like these cable car things, like, you know, like these skywalkers or whatever they're called, to get to the down like the dinghy area to get on the dinghy. And then you gotta make sure you get on the right one for your ship. Okay. All right. So as we're online, there is what seemed to be a very nice, sweet Jamaican family, right? Mother, a couple of their daughters, whatever, all waiting patiently. All right. And we're all there. And a couple of like super douchey Euro trash assholes just walk right up from like around the side and just find their way into line. Like they didn't give a fuck. We'd already been online like 40 minutes at this point. So
Jamaican people don't play.
No. So HR looks up at me and I kind of look over at her and like,
I'm surprised you didn't say anything.
Hold on. Let me just tell you. So before,
I didn't need to.
All right, so I take a breath like I'm about to, and before I do, the Jamaican mama, the top of her lungs, points her finger right at these two Euro dudes, and she starts screaming, "No, line cutter, line cutter!" And she tried her best to shame and embarrass the shit out of them.
We should bring that back. Shame.
Shame.
When everyone else is feeling because you stand in line for an hour in the heat and somebody cuts.
Yeah, no.
It's like when we're waiting to turn on the canyon and then some fucker like cuts in front of you when you've been waiting for 15 minutes.
By the way, it's nothing like that, but HR gets so triggered when people
me too,
do that.
I have triggered.
No,
me too.
You know what the worst thing is? What upsets her the most, and I'll never forget, is when I let somebody in.
Oh my God, yes. If the person in front of me is letting people in, I'm like, oh my God, you fucking dumbass. Like, why the fuck are you letting people in?
And it's always some annoying, expensive sports car or BMW.
Yes, that's just cutting people off. Yes. I fucking hate it too. My road rage is
level
insane.
Of entitlement.
Yes. I would rather they hit me than let them get in.
The level of anger.
You understand me.
The level of anger is fucking astonishing.
I threw shit at people's cars.
So angry when he lets people
That's why I stopped carrying water bottles in my car.
And you understand, I got a carpool. I got a carpool with her every morning.
Okay? I feel her. Be glad you don't carpool with me.
So, I forgot what. Anyway, it's a trigger point. I forgot what.
The lady.
So, yeah. No, right. So, of course, unfortunately, as typical Europeans are, they just didn't give a shit. Right. They ignored it and they whatever. But exactly, she just put them on blast right then and there. And HR and I both looked like, you know what? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You go. Right? Again, didn't help, but I like the, I like the enthusiasm. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I don't remember why we're talking about. Left the parents behind.
Yeah. But they were left on purpose. That's it.
Well, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're grown-ups. They made their own choice.
They sound entitled. Like they thought the ship was going to wait for them.
Yeah. That is very annoying. Yeah. But make the whole ship wait.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
unless there's a kid missing, don't do this shit.
No, I know that's not okay. And look, it's hard. I mean, if I were a parent, right, I'd probably be miffed. And honestly, they're just looking,
for someone to blame.
Right? They want to be finger pointers. At the end of the day, they really only have themselves to blame.
Yeah.
Whatever that cost them, whatever they had to do, that's really just that's life. They fucked up.
Yeah.
And it probably could have been worse.
It's pretty funny that this kid is way more mature than the parents.
Yeah.
Well, it also depends where they were, right? But let me tell
Somewhere
you.
in the Caribbean.
No, but I'm saying that's what I mean. It could have gotten way worse if they were stuck there and they don't know their way around. I'm serious. Some of those neighborhoods, the resort areas are beautiful, but that's not representative of what those islands are like. Puerto Rico has that problem. I know a few people that used to love vacationing in Puerto Rico. That was like their place. And the resorts and the beachfront hotels are beautiful. You go 10 minutes into the inner city, it's the most poor, downtrodden, upsetting areas. Cuba's like that too.
Yeah.
Although Cuba for different reasons, but No, because Castro,
Yeah, no, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you get stuck like somewhere in like Jamaica or
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what's gonna happen to you.
Oh yeah, because I remember we in 2020, I think we went down to Roatan, which is kind of Caribbean, kind of Honduran, kind of both. I guess they decide on that. And we were like at the resort part, and like that whole like edge of the coastline, it looks amazing. You see all the resorts, all the stuff. But I remember when we were driving in, I was like, oh, this is kind of shady. I was like, this is a little, if I got lost down here and not on that side, I would cry. I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. So I feel them. I feel it. So.
All right. So are we done with this one? Because or do I need a grade? Oh, I did.
You didn't grade.
Oh, well. All right, so I'm giving Responsible Billy 0 dingleberries,
okay.
and I'm giving him a 10 on the Feldman. I think there's no shame in making sure that you make it back to the ship and following protocol.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give Mom and Dad 2 dingleberries for just blaming their responsible kid. I'm sure it was because they were upset, right? And whatever, so they were just reacting, and often
it's pretty shameless to expect the cruise ship to wait for you.
Yeah, well, that's what, but yeah, they're like a 1 on the Feldman.
Yeah,
right. Dingleberries, I'm only going to give them 2, but the Feldman, that is pretty shameless to think that you're all that and like, oh, they'll wait.
Yeah,
like, shit.
Exactly.
By the way, this headline grabbed me, and this is from Reuters, which is used to be a respected news source until Donald Trump says they're not.
Everything used to be a respected news source.
Right. Doge staffer provided tech support to cyber crime ring, records show. Way to go.
Yep.
Imagine.
Way to go.
Right. You're really making America.
Good on, that's right. Good on them. Right?
On
there
them.
you go.
I fucking guess. Yep.
Oh boy.
I know. All right, next one then.
Almost.
Okay.
That last story, you know what it's almost like?
What is it almost like?
It's almost like when you do take a trip or when you do port, dock at a port and go on an excursion, and your cringy sister-in-law insists on going places that nobody else wants to go and see, and then asks you to tell the driver in his language to please do it, even if you don't want to, and you're kind of in the middle of all this drama. It's almost like that.
It's almost like that.
That did actually happen.
I could tell while he was saying it. I can tell that actually happened. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Next one then. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. Am I the asshole for wanting to back out of a Disney cruise my husband's family paid for at the last minute because of something my mother-in-law said about me to my kids?
Huh.
It has been her dream to take my kids on a Disney cruise ever since they were born. We have had massive issues with her not caring about their safety. The most egregious example was when she let my daughter ride on the dashboard. Yes, the dashboard of her fucking car going 80 miles per hour. And her excuse was, she had so much fun. I couldn't help it. So yeah. So I told her if we could all go, then maybe I would consider it. Her boyfriend's mom died last year and he got like a small 30 grand inheritance. And she talked him into spending it all on a Disney cruise for the entire family. The 2 of them, husband and I, and the 2 kids. I'm going because everyone is excited, but I am dreading every single moment of it. I don't really like cruises and Disney's not my thing. And we are going to be away from our business for about 2 weeks. So getting back is going to be a nightmare. I was I was packing up last night and my now 8-year-old came up to me and said, Grandma said we're going to push you over the railing one day on day 1 so that the rest of us can have some fun. I was like, whoa.
Grandma?
Yes.
Grandma.
Right.
The same one that puts her grandchildren on the dashboard.
Exactly. I asked her what else she had said, and it was something like, she said when you're drowning, she's going to hook up daddy with the huge black lady who isn't such of a shit about bad food. I immediately went to my husband and I told him that I was canceling the trip. She had said things like this to my kids before, so while they may not be the exact retelling, I know Bella did not make this up. My husband is begging me not to cancel because he really needs the break from work. I told him, fine, we'll take a 2-week camping trip or go to the beach. But for me, being around his mom will be worse than work. Let alone, she made a joke about murdering me. Kids are now sad that we might not go and the guilt is getting to me. Would I be the asshole if I cancel this trip?
I think you'd be saving your life.
Yeah, I don't think she's joking. I don't think that's a fucking joke. That lady might try to kill her.
I would not want to be in a confined space with this person.
I know that grandmas tend to think that they know best, and then like, I saw that happen with my own mother and my ex when my kids were super little. My mom was very hands-on with my oldest.
Your mom would not have put your baby.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, like feeding her things that my ex wouldn't want her to have normally, as an example.
Yeah, there's normal grandma.
Well, I understand. I'm not saying that grandma's sane or normal, but I'm saying I've seen where in-laws, like mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws, have these conflicts when their kids are super little, because grandmas tend to start to become overprotective. They want to give unsolicited advice. Tell you, oh no, you're doing that wrong, or no, don't worry, they can have peanuts. I don't care what the doctor says, whatever.
Right.
Like they do shit like that. Okay, maybe not to this extreme.
Right.
Okay. So, really quick, I would give grandma honestly 5 dingleberries just for doing that and saying shit like that. Also, clearly the grandchildren are old enough to repeat and understand, right? It'd be different if they were infants and you'd be like tickling their belly, like, oh, I'm going to murder your mom one day, right? Whatever. I'm just saying, like, but yes, it's fucked up and crazy, but at least.
Like your 8-year-old.
Well, I'm saying at least, like, if it's a 6-month-old, she's going to coo and laugh and smile and whatever, right? Okay. Yeah, when the kid's fucking 8, right? But so I'm gonna give grandma 5 dingleberries for that. I also I'm gonna give grandma a 3 on the Feldman scale. It's kind of shameless to say shit like that to your grandchildren.
Kind of.
Well,
I'm confused on why she wanted a huge black lady to come and take her place.
Well, I'm wondering if this is an interracial couple, and maybe
we don't know.
Well, no, but because
I try to go see that.
But when she says because when she says I'm gonna get you a big black lady so you can eat black food.
No, who isn't such a shit about bad food?
Oh, bad food. Yeah. Oh, I thought she said black.
Like unhealthy food?
I don't know. Yeah, because in the one comment she did, she said that she also likes feeding them, like the kids, like a bunch of like junk food.
Oh, so that's okay. So that may be more, because at first I thought maybe she's white, the husband's black, and like she doesn't like certain foods, like how they're seasoned, or she doesn't like soul food.
Maybe
but
either that or the grandma.
No, but
fucking know.
But putting all that aside, now. If you want Eric to solve this problem, I can.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Just stay home. Let the husband take the kids.
I think that's what the lady wants, though.
Fine.
It is right? What she wants.
But guess what? But guess what? That's a win-win for everybody. She doesn't leave the business. She doesn't have to spend 2 weeks with her in-laws. She gets 2 weeks kid-free. I mean, she may love her kids, and I'm not suggesting she's going to do anything nefarious, but look, I would offer to do that even if I loved my in-law, if I, or whatever, just because I wouldn't want to take that away from the kids. I'm sure they'd have a blast.
Right.
You know what? You guys all go. And I would use the excuse of I can't leave the business unattended for 2 weeks. Right. I'm sorry. It's just too much time. Enjoy. I love you all. And I would keep it very non-confrontational, whatever. And yes, you're right. That is most likely what grandma wants, but I wouldn't care because I would see the benefit for the kids, Now, the only reason I would be a little hesitant with that is if grandma still hasn't like gotten the idea of safety, like,
Yeah, I don't know that I would trust grandma with my children.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If my husband's there.
I'm pretty positive I would not trust grandma.
Well, I'm saying if husband's there and he's watching the kids, I feel a little bit more comfortable. Plus, they're older now and there's no dashboard on a cruise ship, right? But
yeah, she's going to be like, it's going to be like the Titanic, and she's going to be hanging him off the side.
Well, Michael Jackson them.
oh yeah, I remember that balcony scene. Yes. Yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, the hotel balcony.
She's going to Michael Jackson them. Oh my God, I would not trust her either.
As long as she doesn't administer propofol for them to go to sleep, then
She might.
Oh my God, yeah, this is the kind of grandma like she'll give you a shot of bourbon to help you sleep through the night.
Don't laugh. My grandpa used to do that.
I know.
They used to rub whiskey on our gums.
I'm all for giving them sleep medicine. I can do that.
NyQuil, same shit. Anyway, so I would say that. I would honestly, I would offer to stay home. I would make myself look good. No, you guys go. I'll sacrifice. It's okay. I want you to have this. And then I would enjoy my 2 weeks of silence, right? Because it's really hard to get a hold of them on the cruise ship. Maybe the occasional WhatsApp message, whatever. That's it. I would order takeout the whole time. I would eat the shit I like. I would go see the movies that I want to see that HR thinks are bad, even though they're not. And they're great. Just like the one we just saw, The Alto Nights with De Niro.
That's a whole nother podcast.
We should do like our worst movie experiences ever. We should do something. But sorry, I know.
You would be able to relax, but let me tell you, a mom, a protective mom, she's going to be a wreck those entire 2 weeks.
Not even a protective mom, like it's a mom. Just I would be fucking worried about what my kids are doing.
That's probably a good point. I think moms may worry more than dads, and especially if the kids are with the dad's parents.
Exactly,
that probably makes them worry less.
Insane.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the dad would worry less, so that's why I'm thinking like my kids are with my mom and dad. I'd probably I get it. So you're probably right. But again,
and it also sets a precedent. Like, okay, if you act this way, and I'm not going to be there. Grandma's going to think she can do this forever.
Yeah. Let her, because they clearly don't like each other. So she wouldn't want to be with grandma anyway.
Not going to go to any family thing.
No. There's a difference between going to a life event like a wedding or a Sweet 16 or a quinceañera. That's different than a week-long cruise or a 2-week vacation, right? Once in a while, Sunday dinner, a certain event, that's a few hours.
Yeah, this is really enabling grandma's household behavior.
Fine. I'm just saying, again, there's a difference. It doesn't mean that they never see each other again. It doesn't mean they can't go to family outings. But for a 2-week thing like this, and it's going to blow up and there's going to be problems, because let me tell you what it's almost like. It's almost like knowing that your cringy sister-in-law is going to go on a week-long cruise with you, and you just know that something's going to not go smoothly. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing you can do to prevent it. You just have to deal with it.
It could have been prevented.
Well, maybe.
Exactly.
Just saying. So anyway, all right.
Next one then?
Yep.
Okay. Am I the asshole for taking my son on the same cruise his mom has already booked? So a little backstory first. My son, 15, stays with me every other weekend, not my choice. His mom makes it difficult as hell to get him if it's not my scheduled time. In February, I had a work conference at a resort in Disney. I really wanted to take him, but it fell during her time. I asked if we could switch our summer weeks. She ignored me for a month. And when I asked again, she said they had a cruise booked during that time. When she sent me the itinerary required by decree, it showed she booked it after I had asked her about the conference. So I thought that a cruise would be pretty cool. I've never been on one, and I thought it sounded like fun. An inexpensive trip that I could take with him. I went to the cruise site, and after some research, I decided to ask his mom if I could go on the same cruise as them and do stuff with him when she got tired. She responded and said I'd have to pay for half of his trip, and he would not be allowed to eat with me or sleep with me or be with me for most of the time. Well, what the hell was the point in that? So I booked our own cruise, which falls 2 weeks before theirs. I texted her today to let her know, and she got upset. And then her mom texted me just going off on me, asking why I wasn't normal and that karma would get me. I don't see what's so bad about it. The kids get to go on 2 cruises, and we both get to enjoy it with them. Am I the asshole for this?
No, you're definitely not the asshole. It sounds like she's a serious bitch.
Yeah.
And she's depriving you of your time with your kids. And
yeah.
I can very much relate to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, she wants like all the fun stuff for herself, and she wants to leave you with nothing.
I'm so glad he was able to get the same trip booked 2 weeks before hers. I'm so glad. Mm-hmm. And he's right. For the kids, it's going to be fun as fuck. They get to go on 2 cruises back to back.
So it's great for the kid. There's no downside there.
Yeah, I don't think he's the asshole.
I'm all on Team Billy, and the only caveat is assuming he can afford it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do things out of spite just to do it, but it ends up being more detrimental to them later. Mm-hmm. But if he's in a position where he can do it and that the extra money doesn't hurt him or whatever, then you know what? I'd do something like that.
Yeah, I would too.
In fact, that's very on brand for me.
Yeah.
No problem. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with my kids, and you guys go after.
Exactly.
We're all good.
That's what I would do too.
Yeah, I don't see this dingleberry worthy, to be honest. But again, only because this is exactly something I would do. Like I'm serious.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is. It definitely is.
The only difference between me and Billy here is I would book myself a better room.
Well, we don't know what he booked.
No, but I'm just saying, if I could afford it, right, and money's not the issue, I wouldn't just book it 2 weeks earlier. And I would book it. I would book the better options.
Yep, me too.
And I would send them like by accident, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to text my itinerary to somebody else. I'm sorry." But yeah, I got the captain's suite. Yeah, I got the private dining menu and whatever.
Exactly.
100% I would do that. And let me just tell you, and this is probably a little too much information about me and the way I think. I would do that even if I didn't like that stuff.
Oh my God.
I don't drink, but I'd get the bougie drink package just so they'd be jealous of it.
Yeah.
I'd never use it.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying yes, I am that petty at times. Not often, but certain things require like that kind of response.
Yep.
And a person once said a long time ago, and it's one of the best pieces of advice I ever got. The best revenge is living well.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. You guys want to carry on and do your bullshit or whatever. No problem. Bet you wish you were like me now.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Who's the bitch now?
Exactly.
So yes, I'm all on board, Team Billy.
Me too.
Again, no dingleberries unless he had to sacrifice something else to pay for this or put himself in debt. Like I wouldn't do that.
But if he has it,
but all the power to you, buddy.
Exactly. Because
let me tell you, and HR can vouch for this, I've spent money, not thousands and thousands of dollars, but I've spent money on things that I knew were just for upsetting someone else. Right? I'm not afraid to do that.
Right.
Really, I'm not. no, I don't even think twice. If I happily do it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's somebody that really upsets me that much, if I have that much disdain.
Yeah.
And to give you an example, it's almost like when your brother's cringy sister-in-law wants you to translate something in Hebrew for the, to the tour guide because she wants to go to a special place.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, no, I could have.
Yeah.
But no, thanks.
That's on her. She should know how to speak Hebrew.
You know what?
You know it's bad when you say no because you don't say no very often.
Right. That's what I was going to say, Eric. It's rare for him to
actually.
No.
If you want to know the truth, I wish my brother felt better. He texted me. He has he wasn't feeling with a headache and allergy, so he couldn't come on. If he could, but I didn't even say no. I just ignored the request. Like that. Like I didn't vocalize it. I just whatever. Like I just pretended okay. And I gave one of those looks like, yeah, right. Okay. And I think that was it. But so I'm with Team Billy on this.
Yeah,
one.
Me too.
All
right. Next one.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for booking a one cruise room for my fiance and I and my parents?
Yes. Immediately, yes.
Did you say one room?
Yes, you are.
Oh
I don't care.
God.
I don't care how tight your budget is. Either do something else or go somewhere else.
Throw myself off the ship.
Same. Wait, this is him. He did this. Oh, 27 male. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Crazy?
Yeah, apparently. Wanted to book a 3-night cruise for my fiance, female 24, and my parents, who are over 50. I discussed booking a room together with the 4 of us as a group, but did not discuss it privately with my fiance. Everyone seemed to be in agreement, so I booked this all together with the reasoning that it would just save us a lot of money. My fiance and I make good money, but I wanted the cruise to be financially doable for my parents. My fiance, a week after, now told me that she feels uncomfortable sleeping in a room with my parents. They will have a queen bed, she will be on a bunk bed, and I will be on a couch bed. I told her that it's too late to change now, as I paid the full payment and locked us into that room. She wanted me to book another room, but I told her that I don't feel like that's an option, because it's looking like it would cost us around $1,000 to change to the lowest quality room when our original fare was $250 a person. I said that in my opinion, you don't spend too much time in your room anyways, except to sleep, so it wouldn't be as bad as she thinks. My family is used to sleeping all in the same room to save money, while her family does not have the same experience. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
Oh, you stupid, cheap man. What the fuck?
Coming from HR.
I was just going to say that.
Know.
God is my witness. I was thinking if HR bitches at your cheapness.
I am frugal, but I am not insane.
No.
That is insane. No. That is the opposite of fun. That is misery.
I wouldn't go. I feel like you and your parents have a nice little trip.
I agree with you. I am not going on that cruise.
No. Because other people are annoying.
How could you not consult with your wife about this?
Forget about even the annoying part. I'm not going to want to spend 3 nights on a fucking couch bed or a bunk bed. I don't care how young I am at that point.
No.
And that's number one. Number two, I understand. I really do think, I'm being serious. I think the gesture was nice. If he truly was concerned about their finances and he wanted to do something nice, he didn't want them to feel uncomfortable or whatever. It's actually a beautiful thought. He just needed to be a little less cheap and either spring for 2 rooms, especially if they're only $250 a person for spend a little bit more. Or I don't know if cruise ships have this, but for example, I'm going to be in Vegas and I'm coming with Maya and Matthew, and HR is going to meet us up there. So rather than us all stay at my dad's house, because that's not going to be very comfortable.
Right.
I was able to have him get us rooms. But what he did was he got us basically 2 rooms that are connected. Like so they're separate, but now if cruise ships had something like that, maybe I could see where that was the idea. Maybe that's a little less expensive. Or, that way they are kind of together.
But it sounds like they make good money. So I'm like, I don't understand what the problem was if they have the money.
Yeah, I would have booked 2 rooms next to each other or on the same cross cabin or whatever. What I wouldn't have done is I wouldn't have gotten me something better than them. No, I would have gotten us both the same.
Or a 2-bedroom suite.
Whatever. Well, I think those get super expensive.
Oh, okay.
Because my brother and non-cringy sister-in-law had one of those on the last suite we went on. They had one of those president package suites or whatever. Ones. Yeah. Yes, they managed that and nobody else had that. And the only difference here is that my brother's cringy sister-in-law had no compunction whatsoever about, let me sleep in your room. And she didn't give a fuck.
Yep.
Right. But cruise ship rooms are not, and by the way, it's only 3 nights. It couldn't have been that expensive.
No, exactly.
So I definitely think that Tweety Bird was out there, cheap, and that's exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? If I'm Lucinda, I'm not going either.
Yeah, I would.
Fuck that.
No. Yeah, no.
And you know what else I would do? Honestly, if I'm Lucinda and now we're engaged and this is going to be my in-laws and my family, and if I had a good relationship, I would go directly to them.
Yeah, me too.
I'll be like, listen, older Billy and older Lucinda in-laws, I love you both. And please don't take this personally. I just can't sleep on a bunk bed or a couch bed. I'm sorry. Or I'd make up some other reason. I'd love to go. I love you guys. I'm going to miss school or work. I can't get the time off now.
Yeah.
I would make an excuse so as not to hurt their feelings because I wouldn't want them to think it's about them.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, I would lambast my fucking fiance like to no end.
Yeah.
And honestly, it would come down to an ultimatum. It would be like, yo, Billy, you either get better rooms and fix this or you go with your mom and dad.
It'd be funny if she got herself her own room.
No, that's what Eric would do.
That is what Eric would do. Yeah.
But let me not lie. I would maybe do that anyway.
Yeah.
I like privacy.
Yeah.
I don't want to share rooms with people that I don't know. I mean, HR is different, but like I don't, no. Yeah. I just, and honestly, because anybody that knows me knows well enough, you know what the real issue is? I don't want to share a bathroom.
I know.
That's really what it comes down to.
How did you grow up with Josh?
We by the time we were older, we lived in a house and we kind of had our own bathroom, but I didn't develop this, until much later.
Oh, okay.
When HR and I first met when I was 17, you would not imagine that I ended up the way I did when it came to like hygiene and cleanliness.
You became bougie now.
It was much different back then. Much different. So when I was a young, typical teenage boy, I was like every other teenage boy. I didn't give a shit about rolling around in the dirt or whatever. As I became older, more educated, a bit more refined, like, you know what? Fuck this. You call it what you want.
Brainwashed.
Whatever.
Not me.
But yeah, I don't think Lucinda's in the wrong here.
No.
Again, I'm not giving her any dingleberries.
No,
I don't think that she's, in fact, if anything, her fiance Billy should get a couple for doing that and not consulting with her.
Well, that's what he asked. Was he the asshole for doing that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then yes, you are. I'm giving you 2.
Mm-hmm.
You can make an argument for more, but honestly, it's really for the not consulting. You wouldn't have this mess if you just sat down with Lucinda like, yo, I'm thinking about doing this for my parents. What do you think? And it's going to be much less expensive if we do this. Mm-hmm. My whole point, give her a chance. And if she's like, no fucking way. And he's like, well, I'm doing it anyway. Then okay. Yeah. But I'm not giving him more than that because I don't think this was done intentionally.
No, it wasn't. No. But there's something wrong with this guy if he thought that was going to be okay.
No, he should have. He should have. Yes, he should have sat her down and said, "Hey, I have this idea. I'd like to do this. This would mean a lot to me. Whatever." Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's why I'm giving him 2 dingleberries. Now, I'm going to give him a 3 on the Feldman scale. Both for, I think it's pretty shameless to spring that on your fiance.
Yeah,
and I also think it's fucking shameless to share a room with your mom and dad at that age. Come on, buddy.
Where you're not even going to have a bed.
And by the way, guess what's not going to happen for at least 3 nights? Probably a lot more after that experience too.
Yeah.
I know.
Isn't that what every guy wants?
Yes.
To go on a romantic cruise?
Exactly.
No,
he wants to be with his mommy and his dad.
No, you're both wrong. You're both wrong. We don't want to go on a romantic cruise. We want to go on the let's fuck 10 times a day cruise. Okay. We want to go on a fucking like sinful cruise at that age.
Yeah.
27-year-old Eric, I'm not there for like the fucking moonlight and the stars. No. Okay. I want all this raunchy shit that goes on in these cruises. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's the reality here. Yeah. And she's 24.
Yeah.
She's right in that prime.
Yeah.
So for all those reasons, 2 dingleberries for Billy, 3 on the Feldman.
All right. I agree.
Yeah. I could.
Okay.
Okay.
Next one.
All right. Next one.
Am I the asshole for exercising on a bachelorette cruise? Yes. I, 28 female, went on a 3-day bachelorette cruise celebrating my best friend, 28 female, the bride-to-be last week. We cruised to the Bahamas as a group of 4, me, the bride, and the 2 other bridesmaids, splitting 2 connecting cabins. Well, I guess they do have connecting cabins. We were all friends in college, so we get along nicely. My best friend, the bride, is a beautiful woman. However, she doesn't feel this way now that she's put on some weight in the years since we've graduated from college. I've seen her try to start healthy habits like join a local Pilates club and eating healthier, but nothing seems to stick with her. Her mom puts pressure on her to lose weight for the wedding. She was stick thin in college. And when this topic pops up, I'm supportive of her beauty that she is right now. I would say, though, that I do consistently maintain a fairly healthy lifestyle. I'm a runner. I exercise on all my days off, and I try my best to eat healthy. When we all arrived on the cruise ship, things were going well. We unpacked, we took some pictures, hit up the pool, classic cruise itinerary. That night, the bride and the other bridesmaids got pretty wasted. I don't drink much because I don't like the way alcohol makes me feel. So the next morning, when everyone was sleeping off their hangovers, I quietly got dressed and went to the gym. When I came back, the girls were stirring awake and getting ready for breakfast. The bride made a comment about my trip to the gym, something along the lines of, I can't imagine exercising on vacation. I laughed it off and didn't think much of it. We got to breakfast and I picked up the regular foods that are breakfast to me: eggs, whole grain toast, and fruit. I didn't even think about what everyone else was eating until another bridesmaid made a comment to me. Do you even eat sugar? The girls had fun cruise food, waffles, donuts, whatever. It just was my thing. The day that we had fun in Nassau, and I tried my best to have a typical cruise dinner to blend in. The morning before we were supposed to disembark, I woke up early before any of the girls, got up, and quietly made my way to the gym one last time. When I came back, the bride was in the shower, and I was confronted by the other two bridesmaids. They let me know that my exercising and healthy eating was making the bride really insecure and asked me to be more sensitive during the wedding. I apologized and agreed in the moment, but I can't help stewing over the fact that I don't think I did anything wrong here. Am I the asshole?
So let me get this straight. This bride has to micromanage everything that she eats and drinks and does.
Because she feels insecure about her being bigger.
Mm-hmm. I do not understand why people feel the need to control what other people do. Like, why do you care what I'm eating or drinking? Or
this is woman jealousy. This is just the woman being.
I was going to say this sounds more like this is there's some kind of weird competition or something going on, or something's not healthy about it. But is Billy the asshole for exercising and eating what he wants? No, she whatever. Lucinda, no. I mean, it's her routine. She can do it. So
that's what she normally does. Yeah. So it's not like she's going out of her way to upset her. It's just what she normally does.
Like she said, I didn't even think about what they were going to eat. I just, I grabbed my regular breakfast and called it a day.
Like, why should she have to eat like a whole plate full of waffles with syrup just to make them happy?
Exactly.
If it makes her feel like crap, she should do it.
Some people think of that as part of their vacation, right? I'm going to have like my cheat meals. Right. I'm going to indulge in all the things I don't eat during the week, but you certainly can't tell or force somebody to do that. Now, if you're on a cruise and you all agree to go to a certain restaurant, that's one thing. And then, certain things, like, for example, I'm diabetic. So I have to be cautious. Like if I'm having rice and potatoes and this, I have to not have, extra carbs or bread. I have to kind of balance. You just got to think about it. Now, do I do like, fucking kale superfood smoothies and yolk? No. Right. But my point is everybody likes what they like. They eat how they eat. And one thing has nothing to do with the other. Who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Right? Look, I was married to somebody for years that ate that kind of stuff, like the smoothies and all that. Right. And even though she tried to get me to do that for years, eventually you just eat what you like or you sneak around.
But you weren't going to be mad at her and be like, why are you eating that? Like,
no, what I would do, honestly, if this were causing stress, which I can't see why, it also feels a little bit like, for whatever reason, that's just being used as a scapegoat for her stress or anxiety, whatever's happening. Honestly, because again, there's all these other people there or whatever, I would just eat by myself. Like, I would just go somewhere else. Like, I wouldn't eat in front of anybody. I would just do my thing.
Well, she went to the gym by herself, but that was the other issue too. Like, is why are you going to the gym?
Well, why are they watching her at the gym?
Exactly.
I mean, she can go work out if she wants.
Exactly.
The fact that they're at the gym too.
No, they're not at the gym. They've seen her come back.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why are they stalking her?
It's not like healthy Lucinda was pushing her lifestyle.
No, she wasn't.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. It's like they're stalking her.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. Gym rat Lucinda. You go, girl. You do what you got to do. I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm assuming they're like in their 20s or early 30s or whatever.
28.
28. Yeah. She needs to stay fit. Okay. I'm just saying she needs to look good. She's gonna land a man. Maybe even somebody she finds on that cruise ship. Okay. She needs to keep it tight. I'm just saying. What? The other one's already getting married. It doesn't matter.
We don't know if she's married or not.
But I'm just saying. I'm assuming she's not because there's no talk of her husband or whatever. I'm just saying.
It's a bachelorette trip. Why would her husband be on there?
I'm just saying. Okay. So if she's not, then I understand she needs to keep it tight.
No, she can. Even if she was bigger, she would find a man. We support body positivity.
Hold on. There's a big difference.
Exactly.
There's a difference between finding a man and finding some guy. Yes, there will always be some guy that'll put it to a fat chick. There's always someone out there. Okay, but it may not be the man of her dreams. And the man of her dreams may be.
There's a lot of bigger people that are with their dream person.
But that's because but I'm betting that the man of her dreams would have similar interests and will also be like a gym rat and exercise guy, But I'm just saying, if you want to attract those types, you got to keep it tight. That's all. That's my public service announcement. That's it.
Okay. Next story.
You know what it's almost like, though?
What is it almost like?
It's almost like if you're on a cruise with your cringy sister-in-law, and you see her going into the casino and coming out drunk every night of the cruise, and then trying to tell her not to do that anymore. You can't, right? You can't impose your will. It's almost like that.
Exactly.
Almost.
All right.
It's got to be the last one. Yeah. Okay, good. All right.
Am I the asshole cruise copying my in-laws? Okay. My wife and I booked a cruise for early next year with another married couple, close friends. The cruise is to celebrate the retirement of the wives, both in the same professional field. Recently, while at dinner with my wife's sister and her husband, with whom we spend time regularly, my wife joked about delaying retirement. I jokingly reminded her that we had booked the celebration cruise. My sister-in-law asked if we wanted company on the cruise. My wife replied that we were going with our friends, with whom the in-laws are acquainted. The brief expression on my sister-in-law's face told me that she was not pleased by this. The conversation ensued in which my wife shared details about our planned trip, opened the cruise lines app on her phone to show her sister, etc. Fast forward a few weeks, my sister-in-law informs my wife that she intends to book the same cruise on the same dates for her family, and saying that we will not be traveling together and that they will do their own thing. My wife stated that she thinks that this would be awkward, which caused my sister-in-law to become upset and state that any awkwardness is it's our problem and not hers. She acknowledged that even on a ship with thousands of people, we may see each other, but insists that it is not an issue. My sister-in-law stated that she wants to go on this cruise because her birthday occurs during the week, the itinerary interests her, and the price is right. She stated in the text, "You did the legwork, and I ran with the information." Going on this cruise or any cruise was not on my sister-in-law's radar before the conversation at dinner. The same cruise is offered each week, same price, not just ours, and there are many cruises offered by multiple cruise lines in the same area. We booked to cruise to be with our friends for an occasion shared in common, and none of us plan to be with family. Based on prior cruises, I know we will bump into each other, and my wife and I will find it awkward, as I'm sure it will our friends. I believe my sister-in-law should not book this cruise. I feel like she is punishing us. Am I the asshole for thinking this?
No, you're not the asshole for thinking that. You're spot on. I'm sure the sister-in-law did it on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. But there isn't much you can do. I mean, she's allowed to get her own, cruise ticket and go.
I would try to see if I could get a cruise credit and then change the date and not tell her. And not tell her till she's actually there.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's probably not get miserable.
Because she doesn't want to go on the cruise. She just wants to be there because she wasn't invited by them.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he's the asshole for not wanting his sister-in-law there, because she sounds like a bitch. She sounds like, I want to be there. It's me.
She sounds like the kind of person who would just fuck up everything.
Yes, but wants to be invited and everything. That has like extreme FOMO or something. Yeah. So no, I don't think he's the asshole.
I need some cliff notes. Sorry. Mm-hmm. I got distracted. Shocker. Somebody booked a cruise and then booked one 2 weeks earlier, like the same one?
No.
What was it? What?
Oh, God. Do we really have to go through this whole thing again?
Just give me the cliff notes. What's the issue?
The couple booked a cruise with another married couple so they could celebrate the retirement of their wives.
Okay.
They told the wife's sister, and the sister got mad because she wasn't invited. Tried to invite herself. They kind of said no.
Wait. So a sister-in-law got mad?
Yes. This is
because her sister didn't want to invite her?
Yes.
Oh.
And then booked the same cruise the same day later on.
So you know the difference is my brother's cringy sister-in-law wouldn't book her own cruise. She wouldn't book her own cruise.
Exactly.
Yeah, she'd give her a hard time.
And the response was, "You did the lead work, and I ran with the information," because she told her about the cruise.
Oh.
And now he's like, I don't want like her going. Like this was like a punishment.
It's petty.
Like I said, I would change it to a different date.
No, I'm just saying it's petty, but I mean, certainly not the asshole. I mean, they could do it. I mean, it's definitely intentional, and petty. Do I think she's really the asshole? Honestly, no. I mean, it's just, I just find it petty. It's childish.
No, I think she's the asshole.
She's kind of asshole-ish.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's it.
Wow. So I think that was honestly the general theme was more in this category this episode was more about pettiness. It really seemed like
vacations bring that out.
I think they do, or
vacations and weddings, and
they people, and people have their mind and heart sets on certain things, and if that doesn't work, then they get upset. But what can I tell you? It's we live in a petty world sometimes, especially if like people can't get their wine time, or they can't get their slot play,
exactly,
right, or they think that you're somehow required to babysit a kid that's not related to you, things like that. Anyway, thank you all. I appreciate everybody listening. Sorry the episode came in late. It'll drop later on, and hopefully we'll have one for Friday morning at our normal rate. And again, it's kind of a busier time for us with a lot of active cases going on, so we're doing our best. So having said all that, Hurricane, tell them where they can find us.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate all the support. Remember, you can find us on our Instagram at the Bentomic Confirm, our podcast Instagram at the Late Podcast. You can visit our Twitter and TikTok at Bentomic Confirm. You can visit our website at eblawfirm.us. You can email us at info@eblawfirm.us. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Happy cruising.